Hey, everybody. Nick Blazer back here with the next round of our Monte Carlo 2022 Backgammon World Championships. We got an exciting match coming up for you here. It's going to be an 11-pointer in the second chance bracket now between Mick Larson and Petko Kostadinov. I asked Mick how he says his name. He said, well, he told me not to try the Danish version, just say Michael if I wanted to. But then I saw Mick on the screen. I was like, oh, yeah, Mick. That's usually what he goes by. But yeah, super excited for this one. Two great players. Mick Larson, very strong Danish player. I think he was in the first UBC that we had. Can't remember for sure. I know I've seen him out at tournaments, and maybe the Speed Gammon tournament is where I met him first. I can't remember. Petko, I'm sure everyone that's been watching streams have seen him play before. Very strong player, originally from Bulgaria in the States. I think he lives in the States. I get confused about that. The international players that are also at all the American tournaments. I got to get the chat up here, but yeah, we're going to go get going with that shortly. Who's the favorite in this one? Oh, I don't know. I really don't. I don't know if their stats are on BMAB or not, but man, I don't know. I don't know how to pick. I would, if I had to guess, I would throw Mick out there as the more technical player. But of course, Petko plays a bunch of tournaments and wins a lot.
Previous years.
Oh, thanks for the t-shirt, love. And someone can't believe Sander's a favorite over Mochi. Well, Sander is still in the undefeated bracket, and Mochi has moved over to the second chance bracket, so he must be doing a little bit better over there. And who is Sander playing? I forget who his opponent is. I saw the table with all the streaming crew around it earlier. I forgot. I think... Oh, I can't remember. That's the brackets, though. Someone look that up for me. They're in the comments on the YouTube channel if you want to look at all the pairings going on, how everyone's progressed through. I know Mochi's playing another one of the Japanese players at the tournament. Mick's looking like what it's going to look like to take another point. Okay.
South Carolina, US.
Yeah, Mick averaging 3.5. That's real strong stuff. Petko, I think maybe in that ballpark on BMAP too, though.
Oh, you moved. Oh, yeah. So I moved like 5 years ago. You love it?
Can you show Aviv where do you change direction?
Options.
Okay. Okay, is that okay with Aviv? Everybody is good?
No worries.
We're trying as hard as we can.
You're doing great.
You're doing fantastic.
Yeah. Good match. We can start, right?
Hope everyone enjoyed that doubles match too with Mark and his partner Casper against I forget, junior and senior. I forgot their names though. It was a fun match. Figured we'd leave the commentary off on that one and just listen to the doubles partners talk. We might do that more through the weekend. Since our main matches are always at 2 and 10 p.m., we got a gap in the middle there. I'd love to go to the beach during that time. Anyway, let the doubles partners do their talking. Okay, 5 splits from Petko. Mick counters it with the anchor on the 20. Forced to slot the bar. Petko would be happy to hit and escape that with tempo. A little bit overrun and needs to get those back checkers moving, but connecting and remaking the 8 for further in the game to help him clear the midpoint is going to be important too. So, going to take the opportunity to do that. Two-1 is going to split. I said that's most pressure of the position. Can it come all the way up to the 21? Usually the 23-22 pair is not really, I don't know why, but rarely see that be the desired play. It's just slotting 2 anchors that maybe you don't want either of them. You kind of reduce the numbers you have to anchor. So yeah, finds the major split, sets up the edge. Kind of a close alternative. 6-1 is just going to make the bar point. Petco is going to be avoid being attacked, hang on to his racing lead. Not that big of a racing lead, though. Okay, 6's escapes and probably parks in front of the anchor so he can make the bar point along with it. But for sure, we have to move a bad checker. We just don't have time to hang back with all of the front position is as far as it can stand to be before we fix that problem. So yeah, just plays around to the 9. Really afraid of leaving the direct shot and losing his racing lead, I suppose, and behind pretty strong structure. But yeah, I don't know. There's no play B. He's just gonna look for it, play slow, make sure. Mick likes to play Pier and have a lot of primes. Okay. And here we are with prime number 1. Now, after we make this play, how badly do we need to develop? I guess playing to the front of the prime looks pretty awkward, so he can do this to keep his distribution a little bit nicer. But this also has a little bit trouble rolling forward. The purest priming play, I think, is slotting the back 13 to 9, but maybe a bit of an overplay here allows Petco to potentially buy some timing. And so we can see Bot's preferred play or favorite play is just to come down with 2 from the 11. What is this 8 to 4, 6 to 4 twice? Was there some sort of attacking play? Interesting. We can break the 8 and just set up like it's going to be a blitz instead of giving up the mid. Okay. And now Mick is down in the race, so Petco has the opportunity to run here, but still has a double with that 5. Not a favorite to roll a 6 and escape and cash in on his race at high risk of cracking. And Mick has threats of his own to attack and put Petco on the roof against a 4-point board. So the favorite in this game, despite being well down in the race, and has a pretty clear cube here that he's going to pass up and roll. 3-2, I think the best we can do at this. Well, we could hit off the edge, but I don't want to break my prime. I'm more inclined to just play 2 down from the midpoint. Our outfield presence isn't doing a whole lot for us. Seems reasonable again. I'm not sure which game plan wins. And look at that, they're almost tied. Giving up all those 6s, especially when some of them are fly shots, hurts a little bit, so I can understand why he found that instead. Enters deep, stuck behind the prime, has to shake loose a blot somewhere as well. So Petco's going to look around for the best of it and probably realize that doesn't have enough to keep playing this game. Big double and clear pass for Petco, 1 point for Mick. Petco winning by 4 points for $50. Yeah, Petco, I think, must be a Bulgarian citizen as well. Must have the passport because he always plays on the Bulgarian national team for the World Championships. And I think that's Arda's rule, is that you have to have a passport, something like this. Yep, after the 6 splits, we like this 4-3. Duplicates 2s. Buys for an anchor. And 6-3 for Petco. I imagine he's going to hit in the outfield. But, oh, okay. He has anchoring plays. Yeah, after he hits in the outfield, his 3s don't look very strong. So he could instead anchor and hit on the bar with the 6. I think when we look at just the 6, it looks like he prefers to hit in the outfield, but then the 3 doesn't look so good. And so we look at the combo plays. This looks very nice. The anchoring on the 21 and hitting on the bar both make a lot of sense. Who is Bob betting that Petco wins by 4 points? Exactly 4 points? Is this an even money bet? I'm afraid you don't have the best of it, my friend. Everyone's partying. That sounds fun. This is yeah, so again, would love to hit in the outfield, and he's looking at all the different threes he could play with it. And none of them look very strong with, like, he's outboarded, blots all over the place, returns everywhere. Quite scary, and I think that's how he's going to end up finding this alternative hit play or just anchoring. Okay. Going to go to the outfield. Petco definitely has a style that is pretty loose, aggressive like this. Doesn't surprise me too much that he'd find an attacking-oriented play instead of something anchoring. 4, and then we're going to hit. And, oh, we can hit twice. Sure. This looks pretty strong. Neither player thinks too hard, CMC says. Okay. Yeah, I've never seen Petco in time trouble. I mean, he'll spend some time to think about things if he needs to, but rolls a 4-2. Okay, that's perfect. And this must be getting close to cube territory with tree checkers back, all these checkers in the zone, and anchor. Yep, and we've skated past it. Did he miss a cube last time? I didn't see it roll by. But possibly with the threats of pointing on head somewhere, he did. And we'll see if Mick lives up to the Danish tradition here, or if he can find a pass in this very gammonish position, looking very one way. Only a 2-point board so far. Petco still has to escape behind structure. Mick does have his 5.2. Lots of signals that make you have to think about this and realize that it's not the biggest take or pass that we've seen. But threats look pretty large, like quite a few gammons when this works out for Petco. And I think that would be likely a hint to me to let this one go. Well, he thinks about it, and he does take. Okay. Respecting the flag. Double threes is a killer. He's going to regret it immediately. Yeah, what happens when Mick is a passer, but the entirety of Denmark is a taker? Then they collide with a 90 pass. I guess we found out. Does he need to switch to the blitzing plan and switch? Yeah, why do we want to let him have the ace point? This also, I mean, for lack of other options, this just looks very awkward and not where we want our spares. Mick gets a lot of wins out of anchoring on the ace, so switch looked kind of nice there. Misses a small opportunity. 6-2. Now is he going to continue the attack on the ace or not? Looks a little strange now. I think just escaping has a lot of value. It's hard to hit on loose on the ace and give both deuces and aces that are really strong. Maybe more likely to hit on the 2 first, like this. Yeah. Extend the prime, roll forward. And Mick fans again, okay. Petco looking very strong in this game. Mick looking for an ace. Okay, anchors up. That's gonna unlikely to save many gammons naturally, but it can win a few games. If he enters, he can give that last checker back some trouble too. So things are looking up at the moment for Mick. Enters, okay, and I think he's gonna have to hit with this and really try to win. He's gonna lose a gammon anyway, playing quietly, leaves 7s. Takes a tactical opportunity on a few really bad rolls to maybe get the hit on the bar, things like this. Maybe everything cleans up or covers, so maybe not, but either way, I like to play. And gets rewarded with a 4th checker back for it. No ace in this time. 4-2 gonna cover, okay. Still trapped behind the 3 prime. 2-6 stays on the bar. No timing issues for Mick, so he's happy to just get rolling here. Doesn't need to spend some time dancing first. Love to come in and make that board a little stronger, get a few checkers closer to home, save some gammons that way. Okay, volunteers the double aces. Double five's going to play, okay, a little bit awkward though, a little bit deep. He's going to start by clearing the 7. Interesting. I think I like the 9 to 3 first and then 2 more. Maybe you want to play 7 and 8, but he's going to play to the deuce here and fix his biggest problem. Okay. Usually we don't want to play him that deep and that stiff against the ace point. Must have some idea about saving sets or something like this. I'm not sure what he's going for on that one. Stays on the bar, and Petco's going to have some long-term liabilities in this ace-point game for sure. Oh. Is he going to take 3 off? It doesn't look any better to, like, leave 6 on the 3-point. That's the play, though, is to clear from the rear, huh? Well, one's coming off for sure. So go ahead and take the 1 off and think about your other 2. And that's a sizable error to peel there. And leave the double-decker bus structure that Michi talks about. Okay. Very interesting. I don't know what the idea is there. It's hard for me to find a play where backing 6 up is right. Six one safely clears another point. Things are looking up for Petco. 5-2, maybe 1 checker out to avoid some backgammons. But he can make the 4-point. That's also quite nice to have structure and be ready for 6-5, 6-4, 5-4 on this roll. So, okay, going to take the tactical opportunity to make that right away. And rewarded with a shot with the 3-point board. And misses the first try. See if he can get another try at it. Interesting. He doesn't need to come off the backgammon quite yet and should just slot the bar instead to make the 5 prime be ready for contact. Only double 3s was going to repeat there, I think. 5-5 slots the bar this time. I don't think we're ready to take another checker off the 24 quite yet. We don't want to give 2s, aces, 2-1. No upside either. Double 2s plays a lot nicer this way. And second try for Mick, and this might repeat too. Probably a favorite too. Maybe not a favorite, but I'm good too. Oh, this is a really tough stay or go decision. What do we do here? We don't really get better bad 2s. I guess we're only wasting 1 pip by playing 3 down and 1 in. But we must get backgammon more when we stay. So I understand the leave. But I guess he just gets rewarded with some certain rolls if he stays instead. I'd have to look through the numbers. I'm not quite sure why that is. I think he'll stay at least 1 more roll here. 2-2 is going to finish his 5 prime. Keeps the back slotted. Looking good if he gets a shot. 2 numbers over 3. Oh, double 3s. Okay. This is going to be the last chance to save the gammon now. Not a whole lot of wins in here. And no ace. Escapes the backgammon. 4 for Petco. Nice start for him. Right before this match, for anyone saying like backgammon action is dead and everything like that, you just need to come out to Monte Carlo. I got to watch, I think in about 30 minutes, someone lose like 23 grand just playing heads up cash game. Well, someone win 23 grand, I should say. A little bit of both. It's so cool here to see that, though. Everyone's just out in the playroom, kind of playing. It's like the money game is back alive here for a little while, for a week. Right in the middle of all the tournament action, too. Double fives looks like it's time to blitz with 10 in the zone. Not the ideal plan after making the bar point, but that's what we got. I guess he's got a bit of a dilemma. Why does he want to keep the 7 nullity as the ace and leave a blot by making the 3? I'd be awful tempted to make the deuce there. And thinking hard about it, instead of leaving any shots. But now when you make the deuce, you still have the same problem, that you have the 8 that communicates with it, so you haven't really improved that distribution too much. The 3 point is a better point. Okay, very close. 4 anchors, 4 enters, and this looks an awful lot like a cube, trailing in the match even more. I guess he has to think a little bit about whether he might be too good, but I think it's nicer to claim the point here. All right, one more point on the board for Mick. Splits after the opening pointing roll. 3-1. Instinct's always to make the 5 point, but maybe with the board point we can do better to hit. Hitting down. Okay. Makes the 5 instead. Aware that it's a big error here. It's as big as it can get, I guess. Petco just cleans up a blot against the better board and takes his 1 blot back advantage. And so Mick's got a little pressure to split now, and what's his best 2? We love 13 to 11 for containing that checker back. It feels like a lot of fly shots, so he's going to pause to think about it, but most likely he'll get to make the bar point or remake the 8, and just has to risk that 6-1-2-5 for one roll. He's thinking about slotting and duplicating those 6s instead of splitting. Interesting. Looking at all these different options. Okay. Not sure. It seems like the slotting the bar just allows your opponent to escape with tempo. We're worried about leaving the fly shots out there a little bit. Playing to the 10 instead makes 6-3 and 6-4 nice rolls. Where before he was getting a double shot, the full split. This is my favorite play B. But it's nice to get another checker involved when you have the offense. It's when you have some strategic edge in the game, you want to drive that home. And right now his edge is the boardage, and he needs more checkers to continue improving that. So that 13 to 11 plays into that plan. Also helps contain that checker back on the 24, like I was saying earlier. And now Mick trailing in the match. Not a score that we want to adjust a ton at, but a little bit. But this looks like it could be a money cube. I see down in the race is the only problem. Less checker, more checkers back. That those go hand in hand. But he has a lot of indirect fly shots. A lot of other numbers that are going to make the 8 or the bar. A few that are going to make the 3 point. Still a simple game for Petco to take with the racing lead. And he's immediately going to make the anchor. Okay, yeah. Petco just has no offense now. Making the 8 looks pretty nice as well. Not sure what our deuce is if we do that. 4-3 is going to make the 5 point. Okay. That's a big improvement for Petco, and Mick has some work to do now. I think this is going to make the 8 point and 6-5. Double fives is a little fast for Petco. Really needs that 6 to escape first. And Mick is going to be focusing on containment very hard now. Needs to, I think 2 down looks like a strong play here. When we're down this much in the race, he's going to consider the tempo too. Okay, this there's logic to this one as well. I think when we're down this much and haven't really developed more since sending the cube, I think we need to take a big race to maybe decide this game now. And when he gets away with not being hit with the 6, 15 shots, that are going to hurt him quite a bit. But the other half of the deck, he's almost always covering the 5 prime and has a dominating position. So a lot of swing on this roll now that he's gotten into trouble, but huge upside when it works. So that's when we want to find those slotting plays. Double 2s, I think, is just going to continue to try to contain that anchor again, maybe 13 to 9. I don't see what else he can do. It can make the ace point. Guess we could try that. For lack of options. So he could try to find some way, I suppose, to step up. There's just no room for 3 2s anywhere else. Not the roll he was looking for. It's not going to give Mick most likely enough trouble to be blocking that anchor after he presumably proceeds in this position by making the bar point and a 5-point prime with the back slotted for 6. What does 4-2 do? I bet it makes the bar, right? I was just thinking 5s wouldn't cover. 5-4 doesn't cover either. Okay. But it's still a pretty nice roll, making the export in front. But he was looking for the decisive blocking points. One 5. I think we're just dumping checkers off the 6-point. But oh wow, okay, just running is a pretty strong option as well, not deteriorating our position further. Comes out into a triple shot. Our opponent's going to threaten to attack us next time. Otherwise, I have trouble finding that play. I guess when it works, there's upside for sure. But I'm not too afraid to stay back on the 24. Okay, but Mick rolls the game closer. 2-6 is the only savior here, I think. Aces and 7s cover the back. There's one right there. 4 is going to come around. He doesn't have many checkers outside, though. This is probably with a closeout. Where would I estimate? Okay, they're about to go down. But something like 20% gammons at the most, I think. And this is going to reduce it by quite a bit. Maybe all the way down to 10%, just getting to bring a checker in. So Mick might be looking for some opportunities to play some tricks, get Petco to crash and leave some blots, hit loose inside while he's rolling his prime home, and hope to get recirculated. I'm not sure if he's ready to slot the front here quite yet. Oh wow, XG is. Pretty strong opinion about that too. It looks like he can still potentially get contained behind Petco's structure. So I understand a little bit of hesitancy here, for sure. And 4-3, Petco's very afraid to leave blots for Mick to pick up. He could play 2 in to reduce gammons the most. It's only about 10 left, but making a board point looks worth quite a bit. He finds a way to kind of compromise between the 2, not leave any blots, keep a point of structure outside. And look at this. Okay, Mick should hit loose on the ace. Usually you're thinking about slotting the front and making the deuce point first, but this is how much XG wants to be recirculated, it would seem. Really wants to win a gammon with that 6 prime in place. I suppose it's also much harder for Petco to make a nice board point if half his roll is taken away, so the tempo's got some value here. And misses that one too. Small stuff. 4-1 makes the points, and there was a bit of that value. Ace-4 was a not good roll after a loose hit. And same story here. Interesting that he plays the 7-5 first. Playing to the 4-2 looks pretty nice. So maybe 7-4 would be the play that I'd play with it. And yeah, almost tied now. Now that Petko does have decent structure to contain that blot, it's not a free ride to try to go for more. So hitting loose back on the ace is a little impure and might cause him problems later. Six four, not a bad roll for Petko. Now he's got real contention structure there. 6-2 rolls home pretty nicely. Think this is just playing in 8-6. 4-2 with it. Weird. Okay. Why is that? What roll does this save? Looks awkward. I struggle to find that distribution. Mick sees it though. I haven't seen what the PR is, but I don't get the sense that Mick's playing bad at all. Yeah, 8-6, 8-2 looks like a very natural play to me. What is the nightmare from there? I don't know. 5-4 closes the board, so now there's no risk in hitting loose. And goes for it. 8-5, and probably wouldn't mind being hit here. Prefers it for some small chance at a gammon, but instead will be forced to close out immediately. And very few gammons just going to coast home to a doubled win, most likely. Petko enters and has a little tiny chance there, but basically all gammon's gone. All win's gone. We're going to move on to a tie score in a 7-point match. We know those ones well. And it's crazy how much more familiar an 11-point match feels than a 17-point match with all the sevens that I've played. Feels infinitely shorter. And Petko's ready to let that one go. I guess we saw... I think Mark saw Magic Johnson walk into the restaurant at the hotel here. Clean matches. So he tried to let the restaurant staff heard rumor that he likes backgammon. We'll see if we can get him in here. Is he a commentator as well? He can join me maybe. 3-2, 2 down. Yeah, we don't like to split against the made 6 2-point. 4-2 is going to progress that position forward for Petko. And Mick's going to be on the priming game plan, which is apparently his favorite, according to CMC in the chat. Oh, wow, Magic was your neighbor, Maui. Okay. Put in a good word for us. You got his number? Oh, he can hit out there. I didn't even notice that. That's how focused I am on the other game plan of priming. Outboarded, blots everywhere. It still looks pretty good after he looks at it, but I'm glad that I was too distracted to even consider it. Because it's quite a bit off on game plan here. How do we select which match to go live? We just look through them all and kind of talk about which ones we think, players, viewers know, players will be interesting, players will play strong, matches that have impact, of course. Certainly we're going to stream the finals of events, things like that when we get the opportunity. But it's mostly random. If there's something you guys really want to see, you let me know in the chat for sure, and we can talk about that. You can make guesses and say, if this match shows up, I really want to see that one. Let me know who you guys want to see play. We try to get a good spread and representation of all the different, players and countries represented at the tournament too. Lots of Danish players on the stream so far. Try to mix that more up. I think we've had a whole bunch here. France, Canada, Israel, Bulgaria, Japan. Interesting decision with the 3-4 here. The tempo's got some value for sure, with Mick threatening to make the next point, but fairly overrun right now and needs to split and get those back checkers working for him too. Mick would be happy to just escape to full freedom, but I was assuming the direct shot would force him to hit, but look at this. He can just do that anyway. Both plays are very close here, but has a nice board. The 10-4 looks pretty natural. I think that's going to be a hard option to pass up. Thomas Tenlin wants to see Mochi play whoever. I got to watch him play Cash. Come to the tournament room. Super good. That was fun. All he has to do is make the finals and we get to see that again. He might, I don't want to say it out loud, but maybe there wouldn't be any more matches of his that we could stream after today for some reason. Oh, Mochi is not out. That's incorrect. He is still in the second chance bracket. You can go look all those brackets up online, by the way. They're in the comments here. So go check out and see those pairings, who's playing who. Like I said, look through it. Let me know what an exciting matchup seems like to y'all at home. Malcolm. Who is X? Thomas means anyone, and also X22 is Paul McGrill. If he plays any matches, we'll for sure stream that. Christian wants to see Sander. We did get to see Mochi versus Sander. Another Dane that's been on stream. Double threes. Mick is going to count the race and see what sort of containment is going to work best. Does he need to block sixes? If the race is worse, maybe that's what he needs to do. Stay parked on the 10 and make the 3. If it's close, then maybe this is best to capitalize on his opportunity to bring this home. And leading 7 in the race. Oh, maybe he just visually wants to see how each is going to play home. Okay. I assumed he just wanted to make a play and see exactly what the race is, but he's looking at them both. And so sees strategic merit to each. Thanks, Alyssa. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Looks Spanish, so I'm going with Alyssa. Alyssa. Ayosa. Thank you, Nikolai. We're in so nice. For 3, okay, so Petco rolled a big number and has the racing lead, and now Mick really does need to sit on this prime and keep him from escaping. not going to have a cube. Well, the race is still looking good until Petco does some cracking here.
3, 2, yeah, 2, 5, and 2, 3.
Rory's here collecting entry fees and such. I don't think he's playing. I don't know what else he's doing while he's here. He's got his family here with him, I know, too. PR is coming down after this game as expected as well.
Yes. 2, 3, and 1, I guess. 2, 5. Oh, good. Yeah.
Transcriber's does that every now and then. Small pauses in the action. Doing great work to let you guys see all the answers from the bot here all weekend, though. I think we want to make the ace and keep the 7 point, but another option is to bring 4 in. Which one prepares for our opponent to leave best? That's not super clear to me. This one at least prevents, I guess, 6-3, 5-3, double threes all look pretty nice after this roll for Petco. I presume he would go with the 6-3 and the 5-3, but I don't know for sure. I'm surprised to see such a large difference here. I guess that stack of 5... No, it doesn't look awkward for the end game either. Clearly favors keeping the points in front, though. Oh, thanks, everyone. Thanks, CMC. 5-1. Even with the blot behind, I don't... Oh, look at this. I was playing 8-2. But the blot behind is enough to just run and try to get into a race, even though the race is dead even. Maybe that's part of it, is that playing to the 2 waste pips, and we really want to not give that racing equity away. And we have gotten to a place where Mick's going to have a little bit of trouble attacking us. We still have the 5-point board. He only has 3 points. And that's that impure ace point made. Bit of why it felt like stronger to make the stronger points, but I guess that builder is dillied. Maybe this distribution's a lot better for when he runs. I think Mick will be happy to make the 4 point if he makes some roll that allows him to. Maybe a lot of those rolls actually hit and cover the 3, though, instead. So maybe there's not that many different numbers hitting covers between points either. And now that we're here, Mick needs to consider whether or not he has to send a cue before he loses his market. Often will be the last roll of the game. When it's not, there'll be an even race, and he'll have handed Petco quite a valuable weapon. But this comes up a lot where we have large cubes when the next roll is just too decisive, and we don't want to miss out on doubles on our upside. And still doing slightly better in the race when it goes that way, since Petco still has to escape and has already wasted a bunch of checkers. Has more wastage to deal with than Mick does for sure, and he's going to pass that up. We've seen a lot of misses of volatile cubes like that all weekend. Those can be very hard to find, making me feel better about my game too, because I missed those too. They're scary to send. Maybe easier to see when you're not over the board making it or something like that. But yeah, I guess this 6s for sure is going to be simple market loss. That's not what he had in mind, though. I think he'd feel worse about missing the cube if he made a pointing roll and cashed and realized how simple that was. And it looks like they're going to take a quick break. Okay. Only 45 minutes into this match, but sure, and we're at 7 away, 6 away. Hi, Paul. What are we seeing in the brackets? What do you... Presuming one player or another wins, who do we want to see play tomorrow? I'm going to start looking at it too. Did I find Holmes's book? No, I have no idea where even to look. Let us know. Howdy. Let's see. I think on stream B we have Chris Trencher playing Lawrence Powell. If Chris were to win that, he could end up playing Wilcox tomorrow. That's right. We had Costa Rica on the stream. How about that? Another one. Who else would be interesting potentially tomorrow? Looking through the undefeateds. We've had Zdeněk on stream as well. Czech, another country. Radu and Arnaud would have been a fun one. Haven't had Romania on the stream yet. Of course, if Sander continues on, that's always contentious to get on. Ryan Rebello's still alive, undefeated. Oh, we haven't had a Georgian yet. Nordar is making his way through the bracket. He's doing well. I think we've had Great Britain on. Right, Sean Williams early in the weekend. Gaz still alive in there. Paul would like to see the Rebel in a live game. I got to watch him shoot last night with David Wells, Kazuki, Malcolm, I think is his name. Got his last night. Man, I hate that I keep forgetting names. So many people that I'm meeting here. 200 open registrants. I got to meet everyone there. Oh yeah, Simon Barjett's in an interesting match right now. I actually put in a word for that one. He's playing. Ooh, I gotta remember. Oh, Johann Hyuk. I don't know how you pronounce it. German, maybe? Both very strong players. Both of those players would be nice to see play tomorrow, too. Chris leads 7-6. Okay, yeah, you can tune into Stream B, and Bill Riles is on that one right now. They were having fun in the shoe at missing plays. Switching off the 6-point for fun. Do I have a breakdown of how many players from each country? No, but just the first thing I noticed being here is that as far as most of the tournaments I go to these days, I feel like, either they're U.S. tournaments or if there's somewhere else, not that many U.S. players, but a lot of U.S. players make it out to this one. John O'Hagan's still alive. David Wells still alive. Oh, Akiko's here too. I can't believe we had to miss that match. I don't know who won it. Must have ended, but before dinner, Akiko Yazawa and Miki Laukkanen played their second chance match. I would have loved to have that one on stream. I haven't seen Akiko at a tournament in a while. I haven't gotten to talk to her yet. Miki from Finland, very strong player. James Vogel still surviving. Nevzat's in too, okay. We have a Monte Carlo player. Well, Eli Royme is still alive too, past champion. Well, we got John Giorgio in there too, still in the undefeated. Frank Frigo, another past champion, still alive. Ephraim from Chicago. I hang out with him all the time. Berto's still in there. Oh yeah, Justin Bohr Jr. and Sr. were the ones that were in the doubles match recently. I see Mick made his way back into the room, so we might be getting started with more. Another past champ, Jorgen, is still alive. Jorgen Gronstedt. This is the tournament, though. Everyone travels out to this one. Dogpin Snarheim still alive. And it looks like The winner of his match will play the winner of Simon Barjett and Johan Buick. That could be a fun match to stream for sure. All right, here we go. 7 away, 6 away. Mick with the 1 point lead. Brackets are updated. If anyone played a match before the dinner break, we don't necessarily have those results in. So I don't know if we have like live updates as matches finish right now or anything like that. Of course, that's happening on the front sheets. They might update it overnight. But this is where you can check in to see the official results after each round and the pairings for tomorrow. Yeah, what do we do with this? We can't... It's a bit much to split to the 20 and the 18. So he enters on the 24. Keeps his bar point split covered a little bit. And then the 5 down for distribution seems fine. Bring a checker into the zone. Gets pointed on for his effort. Here the double split looks nice. A little bit deeper. Less double hits. Mick with a nice early advantage against 3 back in the first board point made. What is he going to do with this? Find some way to safety up and just play the race? Looks good. 5-1 is not going to make an anchor yet for Petco. That's unfortunate. What can he do with this? He'd really... Down in the race and needing an anchor, he doesn't want to leave the 20. 22 to 16, I guess it's something. But he's going to take the tempo and make sure he doesn't get pointed on high and use the opportunity to adjust his back checkers to try to fight for an anchor. I think there's a lot of merit to this play. I think this is a really good find here. Unstacks Stillwell. There's 1 point boards and makes a bid for some improvement. It's hit, and I expect... I actually was thinking just come out and continue and try to consolidate, but we give our opponent a good 6 when we do that from the bar that he didn't have before. The 13 to 7 to really threaten those 2 checkers split up front. Plays a little bit better here. Okay. FM's still alive, yeah. 2 in, 21 to 20, anchors up. And offense neutralized. But Mick's still with the lead, containing those 4 checkers back behind a prime of sorts, and with some potential to point and threaten the checkers behind. 6-2, most 6s are just going to run, try to consolidate that racing lead. 5-3 misses, but it makes a board point. Some small improvement for Petco, and I think Mick is going to need at least 1 point, like these double 2s will create, to think about the cube here. What's the best he can do? If he could get the 16-point checker to safety, that'd be great. Can't. Can't afford to make the 11-point. Doesn't really want to generate that contact anyway. Doesn't want to volunteer, so maybe we're stuck with 8 to 6, and then can we reduce 16 to 14, or do we just... I guess we get some distribution out of 6 to 4. Both seem reasonable. It always feels strange to play a checker behind the anchor, but when you have 2 back like that, it might be nice to point on head, but he finds the play that makes it more likely to get the last blot home to safety. Gets hit, and the 3 is going to step up for mobility. Petco's going to need those 2 checkers in action to contain Mick's final blot. There are matches in the undefeated bracket going on, Thomas. We just thought this one was a really fun one to watch. Yeah, actually, Stream 2 is an undefeated match, too. Chris Trencher and someone Powell. Lawrence Powell. 5-4 is going to hit and continue around? Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at it from white. I get it. Find some freedom. 2 in. I don't see much else then. Oh, I was immediately thinking 6 down, but buying the tempo was 7 to ace. To prevent our opponent from easily improving this position and priming us in, getting the checker to safety. He has a lot of work to do. And I can see the value in it. I wasn't looking for that in this position. Didn't look so threatening. But makes a lot of sense. Also only has 1 checker back to 3 back. we got a second back, he still has enough racing lead to play with. It's not like he's going to give that up necessarily by being hit. But he can get in a little trouble if he just lets Petco play. But yeah, racing game plan, not too surprising to see a 13-7 instead. Good heads up play to even look for it, though. And now Petco gets his full roll to develop his board. And Mick is in a little bit of trouble behind that prime. Needs a 3 or 5 to escape. Also needs to... That's all, really. What is this? 5-6? Okay. Probably better to point than to step out to the bar and hit loose. Three two is going to start escaping. I think we want to get off the 20 since Petco's checkers look distributed well to point on the 20 and continue the 18, a bit of a distraction play in ways. Keep him from doing something stronger. Six five looks like a pretty natural hit for sure. Probably down with it as well. Bring checkers into the zone. Petco got a nice attacky blitzing structure. 5-4 hits back and takes over the position pretty completely for Mick. Cube coming. 3-4. I don't know if this is going to be enough to play. Maybe if he made the 23 point, he has enough contact. Ooh, people voting for another Wilcox match. Okay, we can watch out for those. We did get to see a lot of him last night against Victor, but I mean, one of the sharpest matches we've seen. They're great players for sure. I hope he stays alive and we get to see more that way as well. Pleasure to interview him afterward as well. Second chance round of 256? That can't be right. Whatever. But it is the second chance. Round of something. Gets the cube in. Nearly too good. Petco's going to think about it, but it does look like an easy pass. But we've already seen this weekend players occasionally confused a little bit by these anchor games where they have contact, their opponent still has a blot to get around, and the extra checkers back. We know they help us win a little bit more in a lot of cases if our contact's good, but it's easy to underestimate the gammons and that they can jump up to this 20% plus range. So we've seen players take a couple cubes like this already. Hopefully after seeing a few of those as the commentator, I can remember that, but I don't know. I'm sure I'll be in the shoe at making the same mistake shortly. Oh, Thomas saying, sure, that can't be right. Well, I feel fairly sure since there were less than 256 players and they were players eliminated. So I don't know what you would call it anymore, but it can't really possibly be a round of 256. But yeah, we were trying to do math on the bracket and figure out if people that lost this morning were immediately playing a second chance match or not. And they are. 3-2. I thought this was deep enough to continue the ace, but interesting. Okay, he should still bring a checker back and try to make the 3-point. Double sixes fans. 708, 508. We adjust a little bit more aggressive at this score, but far enough off the cube that we're not ready quite yet. Ace splits. Sure, 11-10. I'm not really sure how that improves at all. I'm inclined to split as well. And, okay, gets punished by a 5-6 for it. 3-2 hits back. Puts Mick on the back foot again. 1-6 is just going to split. I don't think we can come down into a triple shot. And Petco likely to get to hit again on the bar. But still a little way from a cube and really taking over this position. Well, I haven't seen Costin here, but I just mentioned John Giorgio who is like, I think, wrote about rigged dice quite a bit online. That'd be cool to get him on. I got to meet him. Nice guy in person. He wanted to take a photo with me, but apparently I muted or blocked him or something on Facebook, so he couldn't. We've corrected that. All right, Petco's gonna clean up plots now that we have an anchor and we're playing a mutual holding game. I think there's some sense to that. All the blitz threat is over. Also, yeah, guys, there's women in the event too, for sure. Guys is like dude in California. So it's gender neutral. I guess not everyone likes that. It's really hard not to say guys from Wisconsin. You guys. I adopted y'all, you all. But the guys still slips out every now and then. Especially when I hang around my family too much. Interesting, this break the eights and slot the next best points. Gonna look at stepping up too, but keeping contact down in the race a little bit. With the better board, all these things. Keeps a little more pressure on mixed position. Howdy, Dimitri. Oh, everyone joking about all these like online meme guys. I hope you all saw that Busato won the intermediate division of the Open and has since had to leave because he couldn't get enough time to actually play the main event. But he was here for a couple days and took it down. Congratulations to Busato for sure. Interesting dilemma here. The distribution after 13 to 8, not looking too good. We've got an opportunity with the Blotton board and blots around to maybe get rid of the goalkeeper. So the loose hit, 6 to ace, looks okay, but nearly tied. Intermediate's got extremely Busato, that's for sure. I haven't been seeing it. Have been people making memes about that and stuff? He ought to be. What's he been doing on his plane ride if not that? Agree with the nice play. 5-4. Down in the race, I'm not sure why I want to leave the 20. I'm inclined to keep the contact back there. This looks like the kind of play I make if I'm out of time and leading the race. So instead, I'd like the 21-16 getting working that way, and then 6-2 is the only thing that doesn't like destroy a point. Yeah, Wilcox was playing like a machine last night. As Victor was saying, he was playing so fast that he had this feeling that he must be outplaying the guy, but they both played under 2.5, and Wilcox making some crazy looking plays just like immediately. Not even thinking about a play B, just knows what's going on in the position, and that's a good match to watch. Lots to learn there if we can figure out what's going on with that. Now, why doesn't Mick want to hit here? The race is relatively close, so it looks pretty strong to slow down Petco's progress, but he might think he solved the goalkeeper problem. If he's enough ahead in the race, then he wouldn't want to. Yeah, given that it's even, he really needs to make that piece decisive before he thinks about just breaking contact. I still really enjoyed watching that super high roller jackpot match too. That was a lot of fun. It's I don't know. It was just like we don't get to see enough style play, and it just somehow it was the perfect matchup for making every game super swingy, just jokers back and forth everywhere. Yeah, this seems like the break contact play that Mick's looking at here with the double twos. Happy for both those players too. Okay. Small strategic slip up from Mick there. Just can't see how he's going to progress the position home when outboarded if he makes the hit. So he chooses to get away from the contact. Petco cleans up and moves 6 to 5. It looks like he had the option to make the 4-point board instead and just volunteer the shots, which is probably even stronger when Mick shows you that he doesn't want to hit. Blot behind for Mick. Could be that he has the race wrong. I'm not sure. 2-1 looks like 6 and shifts to the deuce. Yeah, I agree, CMC. It feels like he must think he's further ahead than he is. 7 to 4 looks pretty natural. What else do we have here? Petco's board looking ready. Mick just looking for a way to not leave a shot, even though just clearing isn't going to win him the race either. He's going to need something to improve this in multiple ways. 6-5. Ouch. I don't think we can afford to bury here, but maybe that goes with the theme. If he thinks far enough ahead, he's far enough ahead. That would be the play. Just don't leave a shot at all costs. And against the 4-point board, it seems pretty reasonable. I would probably have trouble finding these volunteering plays. I guess it's too much to bring home. The first instinct is to, I guess, again, if we're far enough ahead in the race, then we want to break the 16 and kind of get closest to actually winning the position. But because they're close and he still wants to maintain some contact, playing the 13 down allows the most returns for sure, fewest shots while volunteering, and most returns, least full escapes when hit. So a lot of nice merit here. And I think Petco can just play simple and let go of the 11. Or one looks like it's going to cover and shift. Okay, it puts a... Oh, sorry, I must have missed the... Oh, he covers first, 8 to 7. Yeah, that makes sense. 3-1's going to cover a point. 1-1 is going to advance to break contact. Okay. Oh, he could play 11 to 10 with it. What is the merit of this? Gives that midpoint wants to go, so we just release a lot of pressure on Petco's position, I guess. Unnecessarily. Don't take an opportunity to clear a little more 11 to 10. These are quite interesting in technical plays. (5-1) seems like keeping it simple for Petco, just playing into the deuce. Oh, I'm not sure I'm familiar with Wilcox's nostril technique. What are you talking about? Is this just like a breathing exercise where we like right-left kind of breathing? I know he's a meditator and everything. I do plenty of that sort of work daily just to keep myself refreshed. Maybe not that exercise specifically, but I think some sort of breath work is quite valuable for sure. Or 2, I think we're gonna... Yep. Double 4s, escapes for Petco, and takes the lead in the race. Nice turnaround here with the centered cube still. Not enough to be sending a cube next roll, but this is going to be his play once he counts it if he gets the race right. Oh, interesting. I have heard some things about this, that there's like energy side for inhaling and a relaxing side, and he likes to use that. Okay. A cool idea. Double 5's going to turn the game around for Mick. Looking strong. Still don't think he's really in cube range necessarily after this roll either. Depends how Petco performs. Potentially 3-1. Okay, he is. Even with the match lead in this like non-volatile kind of position, we're going to play similar to money. Maybe get a little closer, but Petco's take pass is going to be very similar to money. So 75% is enough for a cube. Let it get over there. Dogfin versus Volker. Yeah, if that comes out. I like that idea. I think if I was going to pick breathing exercises for relaxation, I think box breathing is really nice. And of course, nasal breathing in general. I don't know if I don't find that I need energizing breaths too much. Maybe big exhale kind of things. Use that in the gym sometimes. The nostril stuff, I just like to focus to bring my attention to both of them working all the time. Gets the cube in. Petco finds the take. Rolls a 6-5 to catch up some after the 6-4. Okay. And Mick with sixes, putting this much closer to decided. 2-1 follow-up, not too good for Petco. I think he can take the distribution ace 2-1. Three, two, and looking a lot like 7 away, 3 away. Yeah, very well played match by both players so far. As expected. Some tough decisions. They're navigating these holding games pretty well. Been tripped up here and there with contact plays, but never by too much. Complicated game. Seven-way, three-way, so Petco's going to have to send a little more aggressive. Unlikely Mick's going to find any easy cubes here. 4-3 leading in the match. He can switch to the split instead of 2 down. Not sure what he does otherwise with that play. 4-5 is going to hit from the midpoint. Great response from Mick. Looks like it's going to make his 5 along with hitting. 5-1, awkward entry for Petco. This is about as bad as it can get, and I think for money, we'd be thinking about a cube with that third checker on the 24. Nothing at the score. 6-3 can make the anchor. Okay. Mick's really got everything in here and still has work to do, though, so I think he still won't be able to send a cube. 3s is a huge improvement for Petco's position. Does he... Yeah, needs to make the offense, too. Doesn't mind staying behind the structure here. Doesn't look too primey and freezes those checkers on the 6 point very nicely. 6-5 is going to be forced to leave a shot somewhere. I imagine we're going to reduce shots and just play to the deuce. Unstacking to the ace looks tempting as well, though. Yeah, Petco and Mick both very strong players. Top 15, I don't know. That keeps getting harder and harder to say. Depends how you mean top 15, too. Like, results-wise, winning tournaments, are we talking about published PRs, kind of? They're becoming different classes of players, in a way. $3-1. Can we afford to give up our midpoint to hit here? I think so with the anchor. 8-4 is an interesting option, but doesn't unstack the right points. Maybe we could just step up and play 6-5 as well. This is a lot to give up, though, and we really hate to have another checker behind a 4 prime. Could be something that he's allowed to do because of the score discrepancy. That would be a bit too much for money. But really just stepping up and playing 6-5 looks pretty solid. And, a simple mutual holding game play. Allow the game to progress as it does, and Mick's going to have a really hard time deciding this in any way. And the thing about the hit is that it doesn't really decide it in Petco's favor either. Generally, Mick's just going to enter and give him trouble, and he's going to have a lot of work to do to clean up. If I had to guess about Petco's style, I see him very willing to make hits like this regularly. So maybe I expect him to hit 13-12, where like a Victor would probably find the solid 6-5. We'll see what he goes with, though. Not too much equity to be lost on this one with these very different game plans. Dimitri thinks 50 players in the top 15. Yeah, I agree with that. $50 actually might be a good guess at how many players are in the top 15. I like that. I think that's where I'd set the line. I'd have trouble thinking of more than 50 players that could be in the top 15. Maybe not, actually. No, I don't know. Second guessing myself now. Yeah, I haven't looked at BMAP lately. Is Petco averaging a 3.1? I should just have that up all the time. Petco with Grandmaster G2, so not his peak, but he's at a 3.9 right now. If I'm reading this right. And Mick Larson apparently doesn't report to BMAB. Rude. If he doesn't report to BMAB, then Petco's the favorite. That's what I think. 6-4. Yeah, we really need to get that checker moving. Can't give up a point with the 6, so the 6 is coming out for sure. Would rather make our opponent break an anchor to hit us. I'm surprised that 8-4-8-2 is in the ballpark. This seems like a very natural play to buy some timing. And now is Mick ready to go for it and leave that anchor and try to scramble home? Blot and board, so all fly shots that are going to hit him. Seems like a nice opportunity. Yeah, around the bend makes a lot of sense too, but here we have a triple falcon of sorts with the blot out there already. Oh, Mick is in BMAP. Why didn't he search up in my search? I looked for Larson and got 0 hits. How can that be right? I thought I was going to have to sift through all the Larsons. And reconsiders his hit. Okay. So right in line with CMC's predictions of tendencies there. Chooses to play a simpler game just into the 6 instead of putting it all on the line here. Yeah, I expected that would be the name that he would be under as well. There we go. Now I got a Jan Larson, a Michael Larson. Mikael. 3.83. Okay, yeah, very tight. Very tight in their BMAP ratings.
6-4.
And we've arrived in a pretty simple holding game. Lack of timing for both sides. Gonna find out who's gonna leave the shot first. Double twos, gonna advance and break contact with the racing lead correctly now. Good find. Getting into a little bit low on clock, but should have enough for the match pretty easily, but maybe feeling the effects of that, a little bit worried. 4-3, I think Petco happy to give up the midpoint without a shot and continue to play with his racing chances from the 21. Still has contact with some 10 away fly shots when Mick does have to give up the 14. Mochi Ueda, Dirk, how many are in your top three? A few more than three, naturally. Oh, wow. He should take this opportunity to try to get home to safety, but instead play some checkers behind. I'm surprised that we would volunteer the 10. Feels like a bit much, and I'd rather sit on the point, but I guess he doesn't always get to the 8 and may have to give it up or something like this soon, so worth taking the shot now. 6-4, yeah. Instead of giving a point, he's going to go for it. And now the bot wants him to stay and clear the 7. This is, I don't really understand what's changed in these two positions. I guess that his 4 is so bad. I really, strange. These are hard plays to find. I don't know if they were big, but I'm not seeing it. And still 3 away, 7 away with some racing lead. I don't think it's enough to claim this game, but he can think about it even at the score in a position like this. Less cube adjustment. We want to get close to a passable position, maybe, but Petco's position is gonna, I think we're gonna hit with one and close the board and play on for an unlikely gammon. Nice. 10 in the top 3, okay. 17 for Thomas. What's my line for top 3? I'll go 10. I think 10's reasonable. We've named 7 already, but I'm not sure I can think of 3 more. 4-3 takes 2 off. A little bit unfortunate distribution for gammons with that checker on the ace. 3-1. I think this... oh, no, it never peels. It clears from the rear. That's right. Because it creates a spare on the 3. That's the rule of thumb I always use for clearing the 6 versus the 5 there, or the 4. If you have a spare on the 3, then you can clear from the back. If you don't, then you should clear earlier to reduce shots. Yeah, I think we can agree on top 1. Maybe you could make a case for a few existing in the top 1. Maybe not, though. We'll see at the UBC finals. How about that? Sure, Sander would like to make a case for the top 1.
Okay, we're good. 6-1.
And yeah, it is quite crazy that he's so far ahead. The only Super Grandmaster, and also working on the Super Grandmaster 2 title. Reasonable shot at it. But way back when Hideaki made it to the UBC finals, he had aspired to play in that range too. And I think if he chooses to keep focus on the game, that he can do it. Petco ready to cash after Mick saves the gammon. Is there a different best cash player? 6-5 runs. Oh, right. They go the other direction. GM2 and GM1 are... Okay, whatever. The number ordering, I can't remember it. Okay, and trailing in the match, the double sixes early. Usually he needs a point, and usually you'd have two checkers back, but at the score, yeah, we should be thinking about it. So misses a small early cube opportunity. Interesting that he should play 13 down. I mean, common theme, but at the score and against a single checker, making the deuce feels pretty strong here. And I think he's going to have cruised past his market, maybe not making the 5 point. It's a nice improvement for Mick and a lot of work to do for Petco. And feels like a difficult cube. I would not be surprised to see a score pass here. Hard to evaluate gammons. I think for money, of course, you wouldn't be too afraid of this. But 6 away, 3 away leading. We want to be careful about letting our opponent get back into the lead with a doubled gammon and 4 points. Someone asking about the super high roller. Yeah, that was day before yesterday, or was it yesterday? I think maybe it was yesterday. But we streamed the finals of that super exciting match between Manny Elshinko and Joseph Tisona. Joseph, your champion. If you looked at that field, those aren't who you would pick as your favorites. So, I mean, also a really cool match that way. Like, you can come to these tournaments and beat all the champs for sure. Still luck in this game in the end. Fun to talk about what people should be doing and try to figure out our best way to victories, but usually the dice is going to decide it anyway. We got a couple votes for Dimitri being top one. He's just got to be willing to travel to the contender tournament in Europe. Still waiting for it to come to the U.S. Those Russians, I can't convince them to travel. Him and Victor both indifferent. Okay, we'd love to cover the 9 point here. Do we need to clean up the blot instead? Just goes for it. Nice play, too. Must be some 3 duplication. 3-5 hits in the outfield instead. Ace-3 is a nice return. Going to leave a lot of blots around, but again, getting that aggressive at the score. 5 away, 3 away. With an extra checker back, on a fan, yeah, I think he could be thinking about it. His big liability to not have a midpoint, questionable outfield presence. But 11 checkers in the zone with the third back. There's going to be some gammons in this position. Feels pretty reasonable, and like we could lose our market if we just get a back checker moving, remake the midpoint, and Mick doesn't enter well. And Mick's going to let that one go. Okay. Looked like some work to do and not a whole lot of points made, but fears the gammonishness of that position. Chooses the conservative route. 4 away, 3 away, even more aggressive with the cube now. Now that a gammon gets us to a match win, Mick's got to be very careful. 2-1, I think, tends to slot against, at least for normal scores, and still at this score, too. We got to make an improvement after our opponent makes the nice bar point. 5-4 hits and punishes. 5 probably down to attack, but it could just continue out, too. Okay, they're tied. Three enters, and we're going to fight for the 5 points. And Mick already under a lot of pressure. Okay, Petco doesn't perform from the bar here, though. But could have been creeping up on a cube very quickly here. With 3 back and blots around. 5-6 is going to cover the 5 and definitely fend that off for a while. Get Mick right back in the game. 3 checkers back to 2, but the better structure. 5 must be down. I guess we could attack. We need to play 8 to 3. Wow, interesting. I don't want a 4th checker back behind the structure, but we don't want our opponent to develop. I guess the tempo is worth quite a bit here. Okay. Double 3s after a fan. A very nice roll for Mick. And of all the craziest, the 4-way, 2-way, 3-way, 2-way, and 4-way, 3-way, occasionally Mick can find some cubes and some passes on Petco's side because passing to get to 4-way, 2-way is just so nice. But still going to be very conservative with the cube. Going to have to get to a much more late game position than this for sure. 4 3 points on head for Petco. Nice shot. Would prefer to be making the 5 point, but this will do. Got plenty of game here. Double 4s. Usually a good shot. It looks like it's going to work. It's going to make the 4 and hit loose. Beautiful. What else is he thinking about? Oh, just covering the deuce. Okay. I didn't even notice. That does look pretty good. I would have made the 4 first and looked for my last 4 and missed even the opportunity to play from the rear. With 3 back, though, I think the purity, we need that structure to buy us time to get those 3 checkers around the board. 6-5 fans. And Mick looking in a very strong position. I think at the score, I expect he still has to take a roll, but looking like a reasonable money double. Oh, wow, I'm way off. Okay, this is super gammonish and probably too good for money. And so he does have the opportunity to claim at the score, sends it. Yeah, with the anchor, I guess there's no game plan for Petco. 2 up against a 4-point board. This is a nice find, and Petco's going to have a problem thinking about how to pass at this trailing score when he has such a nice recube here. Again, the best hint that Petco has, I've found at least, is that, I mean, this particular score is just passable because 4-way, 2-way is such a nice game to play. We get to be really aggressive with the cube in the opening. Get to play on for the perfect 1.0 gammon value. Lots of easy pass, impossible passes in the chat. My instinct with 3 back was that he had to take another step to get there. I was thinking about score, thinking, I did not guess that this was close to too good at a normal score, which it looks like it probably is. Maybe it is too good. And Petco's going to take it. Okay. Makes a score play and could be in trouble for that. And most of the time, I think, not too surprising to me. We see some wins. We see the recubes. RF with some good insight there. Yeah, it's going to be a difficult game to turn around and use that recube. And when it goes well for Mick, it is going to be a gammon a lot of the time. But if things look up at all, Petco will be happy to send it in there. And basically all he has to do is get close to even, or maybe have some gammons present even. I found a lot of references where just having a single, like 11 roll game-winning shot kind of thing is enough to send at these scores. Mick under a little pressure to play around here now. Is there anything? I guess we can make the deuce point. We don't want another checker behind all this structure, but he's going to look at the pure play and go for this. Okay. This is the first instinct as well. And in the ballpark at least, but those shots are pretty devastating. They're going to lock up the gammon and make it very hard or make it too easy for Mick to bring his checkers around and complete this game. A big opportunity, but Mick makes the 6 prime instead. Very good as well. All right. Mick gets to come in and hit another blot. Escape the anchor. Ace 3, ace 4 hit from the roof. No such luck. Could still end up with some counter prime, but pretty unlikely here. 4 is going to hit instead of coming out for mobility. Interesting. Okay. I buy it. They're very close. And this. Yeah, Petco plays to win. 4-3 gets him some mobility. Still needs a deuce or a 6 to escape that further back checker. Gonna leave himself a lot of room to pick up the next checker. Okay. 6-5 fan for Petco. And deuce 6. There we go. We get to escape the prime. Well on his way to winning this gammon for the match. Seven to 5 in looks strong. No need anymore to leave the shots from the bar. Oh, 7 to 5 clearing that. Yeah, All right, I was thinking 8 to 6. I see 7 to 5 on top, but it's an opportunity to pre-clear the bar point while he's got 2 up. Okay, interesting play there. Feels a little early for it. Oh, so I guess it doesn't actually leave a shot either, huh? Double 6s is going to bring 3 in. Can't play the last one because he's blocked. Okay. And with 1 on the roof, he's a little afraid of leaving the 1-6, but this distribution is a decent amount worse. So only 2 numbers and we can still survive after we're hit. 7 to 4 looks pretty nice here, but they're very close. And can Petco do it? No, another miss. Still going to have to wait on this ace point game. And may find 3 cubes that the RF was talking about here. It looks like 2 in, 6 to 3 to fill in the gap. And, oh, he should play to the 4 and 2 off. I don't know that play. Oh, yeah, that does look pretty nice when he does it. That also solves a gap. Takes checkers off the low points, leaves a lot of checkers that are going to rip or play somehow next roll. Good find from him. Any play that builds something constructive, and Petco would also like to roll 6s, not to save backgammons anymore, just to get things moving, allow himself his opportunity to leave the 24 to create shots when he needs to, and build structure. To be ready to contain when Mick leaves a shot, which will usually happen in this ace point game. 4-3 just clearing from the rear, I believe. Double 2s. Looks like he can cover the deuce. We're having a hard time making the 4. Yeah, I guess slop the ace from the 7. With that play, that looks nice. Double aces clears another point. To just continue on to the 3 as well. Looks pretty solid. And I don't think all this safe play is making Petco any closer to saving the gammon naturally. I think he really still needs to hit a shot for the most part. Still has those 12 long crossovers plus 1 more to get off the gammon. Double 2s, is this going to clear another point, or are we finally going to rip 2? Feels like a little much to have 7 on the deuce point. But clearing the 4 is a 0 position for 1 roll at least, as Michi says. Mhm. Double aces cracking the board is very unfortunate, yes. And Mick rolls aces to leave a shot. Found an unlikely shot lever. I guess most sets we're going to do that. 6-2 hits. Okay, a little bit of hope for Petco. Should help him save the gammon anyway. And so, do we want to... What contains the best? Coming off from the back. 18 to 12 was my instinct, but should get a direct most of the time. Don't mind being hit by double sixes are still frozen after that too. 5-2 looks like advancing to the 13 to contain looks very nice. He's going to do it a different way and stay spread out 18, 17, 16. Okay. $5-1. Going to get to the 12 now. Okay. Double sixes are going to close the board. Putting up a fight for it. 5-2. Let's get to the 13, I feel like. Maybe even the 11. Volunteers the 6-5. Actually, I don't think I would find the 11. I like the 13, though. Just when our opponent enters, they're almost always going to have to come out to a double shot. Not sure why playing from the back would help us more. Petco's got some other containment ideas than I do here. Just trying to get the checkers moving around as a unit, it seems like. 5-2. Maybe you'd like to block double sixes another way. I like that. Now, 18 to 13 just feels so... Or 15 to 13 feels so strong with it. And he likes that now, but for some reason now the bot likes 18 to 16. I don't understand this game. Give up. $4-1. I don't really like anything that this does. We got oh, so he just shuffles behind and plays 5-4. I kind of like that idea, actually. But XG prefers just spreading out and would have been hit with that 6-5. What is it? No. And Petco hits 75% and just slots it for the win. I love it. And still needs to take some checkers off. But it has a extremely low take point here. So actually, is he close to... That almost feels like it could have been a recube. Because I think when he covers that he's going to be 50%. Does he lose his market? Maybe not. Maybe he doesn't lose his market when he covers, but he's getting really close and has to be careful about that for sure. If he does when he covers, then needs to get the cube in now. Wow, really unlucky here to not be able to cover it. And I don't think he wants to lift. I really think he needs the closed board to win this game and has to keep going for it. So 12-5 leaves the most ways to do that. At the highest cost when he gets hit, finds a way to reduce a little bit. And finally, Mick performs and hits. Gonna need an ace from the roof. Keep this party going. 4 enters deep, 12-7. Maintaining as much contact as possible and in a lot of trouble here for the match after all that work. And down to an ace for Petco again. And he misses it. But he might have saved enough gammons here to play another game. Sure looks like it. I didn't get to see fast enough there if he passed up a couple cubes at light speed, but what would that be? With 8 off, still 7 on the board, that feels like a closeout should be 50%. So yeah, I guess closing the board with perfect spares is still going to be a take for Mick, so he probably didn't have a cube there. I would have had to think harder about it. He just knew already, made his decision, I suppose. All right, even away Crawford game means that Petco has value in gammons for sure. But winning's still the priority. Take point on a recube is 40%, as everyone's saying. Because match equity at 3-way, 2-way is 4-way percent, 40%. One of the highest recube take points. 5 down and then 2 down to contain with this for against the single checker back, like this play. Double threes is going to make 2 points, I think. I guess there's a question of which two, but I mean, I really love understacking 13 to 10 when we have 6 checkers there. And then I tend to make the 3 along with it as well to keep all points in play. Unstack both the heavy points. But switching 8 to 5, of course, always a nice option for that best point. 4-2 going to make the 4. 6-1 going to make the bar. And nice early lead for Mick. How's Petco going to work on that? Getting under some pressured split on Petco's side against 11 in the zone, though. I'm okay. That third checker should help him do that now. Can park in front and maybe anchor that way. 1-2 is going to hit. Okay. Going to go for offense still. And enter and, yeah, deuce down. Don't want to shake free any new blots. Petco needs to get a checker off the 24, and he can do that. I don't see a better 5-3 either, so 24 to 21, and then goes for the tempo hit. Okay. Could continue and just top out, but yeah, this prevents a lot of point-making numbers pointing on head. Valuable tempo hit there. This is tricky. Feels almost instinctual to enter high and hit loose, but with Petco's better board and less checkers back, he doesn't want to get that checker involved, and so should just enter deep and clean up a blot instead. Petco fans on the 2-point board. That's a tough shot. 4-3, gonna cover from the 11. Starts by covering from the 8 and looks for his 3 and realizes he can do both. Beautiful shot from Mick. Petco under a ton of trouble. Does he need to split to the 20 here? Might be his last chance with a decent board here. Leaves the direct 6, leaves things everywhere, but of course if he gets gammon, he doesn't care, needs to win this game, and about out of time, and just has to go for it. No other options with 3 checkers back. Needs an advanced anchor to play this game. 6-4 looks like it's going to hit 20 to 14, and 4 is going to come around and keep the game simple for Mick. Oh, he can think about the no hit. I miss these at DMP all the time. Getting a 4th checker involved might just help for contact for Petco. Help him make an anchor, and sure enough, he makes a double anchor game, and Mick's gonna slightly regret that hit. Close.
Hit 10 to 10.
I think. Oh yeah, he does hit. Okay.
5-1.
5-1. Transcriber got tricked by the hit. And Petco 2 down to the bar. Or Mick. And Mick has everyone was asking for back games in the last game, right? We got it. This looks reasonably timed for Petco. Five four is a little big, though. Can't afford to give either anchor up, though, so we're just going to play both in. And what does he have here? A 5-3? No opportunity to clean a point, so he has to start burying checkers behind, running out of time. Both players in a little bit of trouble that way. First chink in the armor of Petco's offense. Needs to spring one of those anchors before he starts burying checkers. 3-1 is going to slow down for Mick. Not too bad. Sure, why not just clear a point safely? Maybe would have preferred to clear from the rear first. And what can go for Petco here? I'd rather go from the front and keep my deep contact, but then I have no 3. I don't think I can give up the 23. So, wow, it's very close to the 6-1 play, though. That's how bad burying checkers is in a game like this. 5-4 clears a point safely. Very nice shot for Mick. Last liability is that 10-point pretty much for now. 3-2 can be 2 out now. Now we've got room to escape a little bit. Still keeps very nice contact on some 6s. What else are we going to go for? I don't see the 23 to 18. I guess he really is worried about improving some of those 6s maybe and allowing Mick to hit on a 6-3 or 6-2. But he still gets a shot on the ace when that happens with a 5-point board. So this looks very strong to me. Double ace is going to get a little closer to safety and fill in the 5-point. Very nice shot. And we'll see if Petco wants to keep one of those checkers parked on the 18 here. Should stay on the 12 instead. Aces are worse somehow. Interesting. Really not sure why 18 to 13 going would be better than 17-12. Okay, 6-4 for Petco is going to slot, and rather than burying another checker, we'll just try to get the checker around. Okay. Safe clearing for Mick finally. And now all that Petco's left with is a poorly timed 23-point game. Going to be tough to win from here. And 1-3 is finally going to crack and really bring Petco down below 5% now. 6-4 safe for Mick again. And Petco's ready to run. Not much risk of being pointed out anymore. Sometimes we stay a roll longer when we don't care about losing gammons. Looks better to just run here. Take our chances of remaking the 6-point. Having some chance of doing that. Nice shot for him. Looking for 2 high numbers. 5-1 won't do it. Gonna need a deuce now. 5-1 covers. Okay, nice shot for Petco at least. Staying alive. 6-6 is a great one for Mick. Petco needs to avoid a 6. Gets one last chance at Mick rolling an ace. With a broken board already. Tall order to stay alive in this match. Well, there's step 1, though. Take 2 off, right? Oh, we hit? What? Why? I don't understand that at all. 2 blots instead of 1 available? I don't know. He can stay. Wait, does that matter? Why does it matter that he can stay? Okay, Petco hits, staying alive. 6-2. Mick right in, threatening to close the match out immediately again. Yeah, I think, okay, stays back for the maximum contact. 3-2. Looks kind of nice to step 20 to 18. Would have improved on this roll for sure. Not sure though. 6-3 doesn't quite get there. One checker is going to go past. And here's potentially the last sequence. 3-2 is going to come into direct range. Petco needs a 5 to stay alive. Misses. Going to play to the deuce. Going to need Mick to roll low. Give him some chance at a shot again. And does not oblige. That's the game. Well played by both. Mick's going to come out your winner in advance. And we'll continue playing in the second chance tomorrow morning at 2 p.m. Great performance by both, showing off, as expected, nice mid-threes, PRs, everything like this. Very well played. Exciting match, too. That's the second chance. We'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us. That's all I got, I think. I don't know which match we're going to show. Again, if you guys have preferences, let us know somewhere. You can post on the page or in the comments here real quick. We'll try to look through the results, share on there too. But yeah, congratulations to Mick. I'll see if either of them want to come over here and chat a little bit too. We'll give it a minute before we wrap up. Sander, if alive, yeah. Sander votes make a lot of sense to me. I'm looking over to see if is he still playing? You got to take a tour of the room. I think all the cameras are around him usually when he's playing. I think I have Wilcox sitting over by me too playing. I can't tell what his scoreline is. The 17-point matches are going to be going pretty late into the night too. I getting to stream a second chance match means I get to go to bed early tonight. What is it, like midnight? What an early night. This is beautiful. All right, I'm going to take advantage of that. Maybe get up early and get some sun before that 2 p.m. Thanks, everyone, so much. Yeah, Wilcox, okay. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.